Okay, so once again, good morning to our viewers and welcome to our discussion of Gender and Development 101, the social dimensions of education. Now, kindly join us with this discussion and in this topic because it's gonna be discussed by our speakers in this activity. So kindly allow me to introduce ourselves as Team 5. First is we have Miss Nikki Las Sacapilo. Hello, Miss Nikki. Good morning.
Hi, sir. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Next is we have Mr. Nestor Ongayo Jr. Hello, Mr. Nestor. Good morning.
Yes, good po.
And we have Miss Jenny Grace Balaba. Hello, Miss Jenny. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone, and good morning, viewers.
And of course, yours truly, I am Argel Dave Reed, who is going to facilitate the entire discussion. Our learning objectives and this discussion is to describe gender equality and inequality and how they affect development. Second, explain the relationship between gender and power. And third, discuss significant gains that have been made in women's education as a result of global advocacy. But before we're going to start, let us discuss what is gender. So, gender is one of universal dimensions in which status differences are based. It is a social construct specifying the socially and culturally prescribed roles that men and women are to follow. It shapes the lives of all people in all societies and influences all aspects of our lives. And we have the three theories of gender and development. We have the social learning theory, we have the cognitive developmental theory, and we have the gender schema theory. And first is we have the social learning theory to be discussed by Miss Jenny.
Yes, once again, good morning, everyone. So, for now, social learning theory. Social learning theory views the course of human development in terms of children socialization. It's an experience and acquisition of self-regulation. So, um, it's a parents' influence of gender identity in their children can already be seen in the onset of infants and in early childhood. So this is easily identified within the way parents structure the physical environment of the child, such as for the girls, filling the rooms with pink like this, my background, right? And also dolls. But for the boys, they will filling the rooms of with the color blue and tracks. So parents also put efforts into shaping the appearance of their child. So with the stereotypically gendered norms such as dressing girls in pastel jeans or skirt, and for boys in ragged trousers. So that's the way the parents develop their um, gender and development of their children. So they are also given different hairstyle also in accessoring the company of their gendered attire. From this action, parents indicate to both the child and others the gender of their child.
Okay.
So that's the social learning theory
Okay. So thank you very much
in
for
parenting.
discussing social learning theory, Ma'am Jenny. No? Thank you very much. Um, Now, allow us to proceed to the next topic, to the next theory. It's the cognitive development theory to be discussed by Miss Nikki Sacapilo.
Good morning, everyone. I am going to discuss about the cognitive development theory. Cognitive development theory. derives from Kohlberg's speculation about gender development. We know from Piaget's work that children engage in symbolic thinking by about 2 years of age. Using this ability, children acquire their gender identity. Then Kohlberg's beliefs they begin the process acquiring gender appropriate behavior. So, meaning to say, cognitive development theory suggests that children engage in symbolic thinking. So, by about 2 years of age, they acquire gender identity through the environment. And according to Kohlberg, through this ability, they begin the process of acquiring gender appropriate behavior. So, that's all for cognitive development theory.
Now, for our third theory, we have the gender schema theory to be discussed by Sir Nestor Ongayo.
Okay, good morning once again. Gender schema theory. First is let's define first what is schema, no? A schema is an organizing structure that helps simplify and categorize new information. So, two theories that propose the gender schemas that are developed and applied by children at an early age. So they proposes the presence and use of gender structure or gender schemas that can explain the ways in children and adults to attend to, acquire, and remember information. No, how they behave and what kinds of it should they develop. And that's it.
Okay. So thank you, Sir Nestor, for discussing gender and schema theory. So this is going to remind our viewers again that we have three theories of gender and development. It could be for the parent, it could be in innate nature, or it could be learned through observation and experiences. Now, we then discuss the challenges and difficulties of the gender, no, in its development. So we have the first is what is gender stereotyping? And of course, learning from the development and its theory, it is based on the environment. But it has also its own problem. Gender stereotyping is defined as the beliefs of human hold about the characteristics associated with males and females. It is a process in which people form ideas of what they considered as male or female by associating characteristics particularly. So this results in multiple problems, di ba? I'm pretty sure that Miss Jenny, Miss DK, and Mr. Nestor is going to agree that it's evident, right?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Mm-mm.
Yes,
so
sir.
what about the characteristics associated with particular gender have a negative image? How is that happening? So I think that is one of the questions of our viewers while listening. But again, it would be a negative image if we are very strict on that gender. No, we don't allow development because we have to respect the theory. We have to acknowledge that it has its own processes. No, and the second problem is unique individual is assumed to have all the characteristics associated with his or her gender. So there we assume that male is for male only and for female is female only. Okay. Now, we have other topics. We have the gender inequality, and this is going to be discussed by Miss Jenny. Miss Jenny?
Yes, gender e gender and equality. So equality or non-discrimination is that state where every individual gets equal opportunities and rights. So every individual of the society yearns for equal status, equal opportunity, and equal rights. However, it is a general observation that there exists lots of discrimination between humans. So discrimination exists because of cultural differences, um, what else? geographical differences, and of course, gender. So inequality based on gender is concern that is prevalent in the entire world. So even in the 21st century, across the globe, men and women do not enjoy equal privileges. So gender equality means providing equal opportunities to both men and women in politics, economic, education, and health aspects.
Wow, that's very well stated, no? It's just to remind us that when we talk about gender inequality, it's the it's the access, no, to this aspects and to these rights. But Ma'am Jenny, for the clarification of our viewers, what is feminism?
Well, feminism means advocacy of women's right on the ground of equality. So, of the many women all over the world are today are seeking for equal status with men by improving themselves through education. So gender equality has I mean gained wide acceptance as the important goal of many countries now, so around the world. So the growing support and the attention to the gender equality is yes, it's through feminism. So yes, that's it.
Okay, so I like the way you answered that feminism is not only an advocacy, but it
Mhm.
starts through education. And for our listeners right
Yes.
now,
Mhm.
coming from different genders and preferences and culture, it is really true indeed that education really elevates this differences, especially to gender and equality. So thank you very much, Ma'am Jenny, for expounding that point. Now we have the other topic. We have the gender and inequality. So this is the opposite of equality. And Miss Nikki, what is this all about?
Um, Gender inequality is refers to unequal treatment or perceptions of individuals based on their gender. For example, you are not fit of this work because you're a woman. You can't be a leader. That makes you less of a man. And another example is there is a discrimination in regards with jobs like they don't hire female because their preference is only for male and vice versa. This somehow promotes discrimination rather than development. And there are four themes characterize feminist theorizing of gender inequality. First, men and women are situated in society not only differently but also unequally. Second, this inequality results from the organization of society, not from any significant biological or personality differences between men and women. Third, although individual human beings may vary somewhat from each other in their profile of potentials and traits, no significant pattern of natural variation distinguishes the sexes. And lastly, all inequality theories assume that both men and women will respond fairly, easily, and naturally to more egalitarian social structures and situations. And that's for gender and inequality.
Okay, but for clarification, because this is really well discussed on
Mm-mm.
the four themes that characterizes inequality, Ma'am Nikki, um, what are the effects of gender and inequality, no, for to the child, to the teens, and even to the
Okay,
adulthood?
young people. Okay. Gender inequality affects everyone. For children, it can affect their sense of self from a young age. Boys will have more attention in school than girls, and their tasks and activities and classified according to their gender. And for young people, it affects behavior, study choice, ambitions, and attitudes about relationship. To adults, job opportunities, job descriptions, workload, and salary depends on what gender is, then their skills and capabilities. That's all the effects for children and young people and adults for gender inequality.
Wow. So yeah, that's very true. No, if we
Mm-mm.
try to observe it, yeah, you're correct, Ma'am Nikki. If we
Mm-mm.
try to observe young children with
Mm.
inequality, sometimes they are treated differently.
Yes,
Let
sir.
boys be messy because they're boys. Let
Mm-mm.
girls keep away from this because they are fragile. Yeah, you're correct, ma'am. And even to young adults or to the teenagers, the way they dress, no, it's always
Mm.
subjected to discrimination. And even to adulthood, I like the way you expounded job opportunities, especially to other institutions and
Suggestions.
'di ba? When we see that they're hiring for boys and when they're hiring for girls, they always set gender roles as a standard. It could even subjected to beautification. All women should be pretty because they are front desk. All men should be masculine because they are doing the hard task. No, so that's real. No, that's real, and it is also an inequality. Thank you, Ma'am Nikki. And we have the next topic, gender and power. And Sir Nestor, what is gender and power?
Okay. Um, Gender and power and gender refers actually to different views of men and women, no? Of how they play in society and to relative power they wield. So, since power is a diverse social categories, becomes abusive and exploitative actually, and it only and only when independence and individuality of one or group dominant the some of others compromise. If we see that remember both male and person X and person Y, actually both has capacity and has an ability to have power. As we relate to the previous topics of self-confidence, conquering of our power, God, to to achieve our attain or what our goals in life. So by acquiring or by having this power, no, no, I know on it. So yeah, and in this case, there are actually three the determinants of first is process. Second, experience. Third is self-confidence. As we discussed, confidence. No, you can't have power if you have no confidence, right? No shyness. There's no room for silence. If we put ourselves in a corner, what we eat, we think, we get our dreams to be equal and play play in our side.
Okay. So thank you, Sir Nestor, for discussing the determinants of power. And this is really reminds that power doesn't select any gender. Any one, a man or a woman, could acquire status resources, go through experiences, and even develop self confidence. And thank you for reminding our
True.
viewers about that power, about gender, and how they could be responsible about it. Okay. Now, the
Yes.
last topic is gender and education. If you would notice how we discuss the topics with different experience, with different explanations, it is very important for us to invest in education, as this is seen as one of the fundamental ways in which a developing nation and their citizens can improve and even aim for sustainable goals and programs that improves social and economic standards of the living. And education of women is seen as the providing key to securing intergenerational transfers of knowledge and providing the substance of long-term gender equality and social change. This places everyone the equal opportunity of not only acquiring power, of not only overcoming inequality, of not only providing the importance of equality, but it sets everyone equally as human being that has the potentiality to uplift the society and to uplift the people around. That is why schools are also enforcing gendered social roles by, of course, discussing the importance of its differences. Second is the acceptance of the specific processes, no, from social development theory to schema theory. This allows everyone not to question who they are, but to allow and to develop who they could be. Now, in summary of this topic, I would like to ask our um, guest for this talk, what are your message about gender and development for them? Miss Jenny?
Yes, based now on the social approaches to children's gender development, we predicted that parents' gender attitude and behavior would be associated with their children's gender attitude and behavior. So, in addition, in order to determine whether parental behaviors or an attitude were moderate by parents, sexual orientation and children's gender analysis were also conducted to examine three-way interactions among parents, sexual orientation. So and also expected parents division of child care labor to be um I mean examine three ways interaction among parents, sexual orientation, children's gender, and parental behavior or attitude. So finally, we also expected parents' division of childcare labor to be stronger predictor of children's gender and development than parents' gender ideology.
Wow. So thank you for that wonderful message, Miss Jenny. No, it's very important for parents to really be open to their children. No, thank you very much. No. Next is we have Miss Nikki. Miss Nikki.
Okay. Um, for all the viewers right now, my message for you is men and women have the same capabilities, abilities, and skill as they are both human beings. Thus, we must promote gender equality so that we can all reach our highest potential and apply it for the betterment for our society. That's all, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much for sharing that for our viewers. That
Yes, sir.
everyone has their own responsibilities according to their gender roles, to their society. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
sir. Yes,
And
sir.
last is we have Sir Nestor Oyango. Sir Nes, what is your message for our viewers?
Um, I know all of us have this achieve or mga goals we by having it, we have to empower ourselves first. Be confident at times in a text of attitude, mindset, and one another. That's all, I think.
Okay. Thank you very much for that message, Sir Nestor. Empowerment And I like the way you said it for our viewers, that empowerment starts from within.
Yes, true.
Now, for our viewers out there, thank you very much for joining our discussion for this topic. Um, Again, I'm Argel Dave Reed, the facilitator, and we have
Jenny Balaba.
And Vicky Sacapilo.
Mr. Your
and we are Team 5. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.